road. And we're going to begin seated. If you can sit on the ground, you can sit on the ground. You could always sit in a chair if that's better for you. I'm going to sit on the ground though. In fact, since I have, if you are sitting on the ground, I would absolutely have a little height under your hips. That, even if it feels okay, like for myself, I can sit flat on the floor with my legs crossed and it's fine. However, when I add a little height under my hips, it makes a world of difference as far as how my spine lifts up. So I'm actually going to take my blocks and bring them together to make a seat. I'm going to have a blanket here as well for my ankles. Getting yourself comfortable and rocking a little bit. Maybe moving your fleshy bits from your sits bones and wiggling, nesting into the earth like a little bird in a nest, kind of nesting yourself in. And notice right away what is happening with your spine. See if you can find length through your spine. It's known as axial extension. And lifting through the crown of your head as your sits bones sink into the earth. And this encourages your natural S curve of your spine, taking a little bit of pressure off of your low back as you lift the crown of your head. And your shoulders, roll them up to your ears and let them relax down. Maybe 2 or 3 times. And then take a nice deep breath and let it go. Bring a hand to your heart and a hand to your belly. Allow your eyes to soften, to close, and let your jaw relax. Just coming into your practice, coming into your space. And we're all in Pittsburgh right now, at least those of us here in person. And so the rain, listen to the sound of the rain perhaps here in Forest Hills. The rain has just begun to fall. And then notice your breath. Feel the rise and fall of your belly, the rise and fall of your chest. And relaxing your eyes, your jaw, your tongue. Feel the warmth and gentle pressure of your hands on your body. Being in the present moment, coming back to the present moment throughout your practice. As we tend to drift all over the place, there's lots of things to think about, like preparations for winter, your day ahead, and just allow yourself to gently return to the present moment, to your breath, to your posture. Posture itself is practice. See if your breath wants to deepen, finding a few nice slow inhalations and exhalations, being gentle with yourself, ever gentle. And find a smile, smiling into your experience. And so we'll begin with some movement of the joints. Scooch my little seat back so I can stretch my legs out and you can see them. Stretch out your arms and your legs. And move your wrists and your ankles, your fingers and toes. Look at them. Give them a gander. Spreading your toes as wide as they go, spreading your fingers as well. Just noticing. Some of them kind of stick together. Crunch them up real small. And then open real big. Make circles with your wrists and your ankles. I kind of like circles when they go in opposite directions. And then go the opposite of opposite directions. And now bring your feet to the ground. I want to do a few stretches of your legs. So maybe stretching and bending your knee. Since I'm up on a little extra height, this makes this easier to do for me. So you might even give yourself even a little extra height, never hurt. Let's get into your leg. And then put that foot down and switch to the other leg. A little stretch, a little straightening, a little bending. Let your foot come to the ground. So you're gonna either cross your legs or extend your legs out long. So I want to get into the upper body a little, and then we'll do some more with your hips. Bring your arms out to a T and bending your elbows. Fingers touch your shoulders and then extend. Playing with that. Feeling into that bending of your elbow. We are not symmetrical. Opening up, and the next time your fingers come to your shoulders, let's make some little backstroke swimming motions. Keep your fingers touching your shoulders. Just let this be more about rotation in your shoulder. When we come to standing, we'll expand ourselves a bit more. But right now, kind of feeling into your shoulders, feeling into your upper back as well. Breathing. And then swim forward with your elbows. Feeling into your shoulders, feeling into your shoulder blades, into your upper back. And then let your arms relax. Bring your shoulders up to your ears. Let's squish everything tight. Take a deep breath and then let it go. Relax. I'm gonna come off of the height now because I want to work with our hips a little bit. So I'm going to come off of my height and bring your hands behind you. Let your feet be on the ground. It's like you're sitting there watching TV. We're going to let one knee fall in and out into that hip. Doesn't matter which one's first. We'll do both of them. Feeling that stretch of your hip in and out. Our lower body is considered more yin in nature, and our upper body is considered more yang in nature. Yin is nourishing, but it's also dense. It's more dense, more heavy. Your lower bodies are typically heavier. They help to hold us up and help to connect us with the earth and moving forward. Walking around in our daily life, just observing as your knee falls out to the side and back in. And we'll go to the other side. Nice and slow. There's no need to rush anything. Kind of slowing down, being present through transitions, through this transition into the season of autumn. And of course, the days will continue to shorten as we make our way towards the solstice. And this is a really important time to feel supported. We get caught up in the winds of change, the shifting seasons, and especially as different situations, activities sort of come to a close. Think of the trees losing their leaves. They're starting to draw their energy more inward and release what they no longer need. And that kind of happens for us as well. Certain projects may have come to fruition for you or not so much. You're maybe in a transitional phase, as we are continually, because change is an indicator of life. Feeling supported. Bring both feet to the ground, and now let both knees fall to one side, maybe lifting your hip. Come back to center and to the other side. Of getting your movements into your pelvis, your low back. Maybe stretching a little through your hip flexors. Let it feel nice. When we're able to slow down and be present, we can kind of achieve a sense of clarity with all of the options and variables that present themselves in this sort of sea of qi we live in. Feeling connected to the earth, that sense of yin, being connected to your lower body so that your upper body can move as it needs to. Come back to center and bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Butterfly or cobbler's pose. Your feet might be further away from your hips or closer, and draw them in as close as they want to go. Press through your feet and just flutter your butterfly wings. Cease your fluttering. Bring your hands to the outsides of your legs. Bring your knees towards each other, and then extend your legs long. It might feel better as you root into the earth with your heels to have some support under the backs of your knees. So even a pillow can do nicely, or a folded blanket. But sitting up as tall as you can, I'm going to find some lateral stretching. Going one way and then the other, and see if you can sort of get into the space behind your shoulder blade and into your ribs. See if you can move ever so slowly. Keeping your lower body connected with the earth, your hips, your heels, the backs of your legs in general, so that you can focus on the movement of your upper body being slow, being deliberate. Maybe your breath comes along with you. completing each side so that you feel nice and balanced. And come back up to a tall spine. You're going to bend one knee. So there's a lot of bending knees and bringing legs straight. Bending your knee, bringing your foot in, and rub the bottom of your foot a bit, especially on the outer edge of the arch of your foot. Of giving yourself a little massage here through the spleen meridian, one of the earth element organs, the inner arch of your foot, encouraging the feelings of being supported and being present. You might use one thumb, you might use both thumbs. You might find sort of a tender spot, maybe even below the ball of your foot. Kind of press a little bit there. Ooh, a little acupressure as well. Encouraging digestion, sensation of being nourished and satisfied right where you are. Contentment. Now let that go and lift up your spine and find a turn towards your bent knee. Press through your straight leg. Allow the hip from your straight leg to press down, help lift your spine so you can twist and look over your shoulder. Take a deep breath and let it go. Come back to center. You're going to bring your hand to the outside of your knee, lift the knee, and then straighten your leg out. Re-engage that leg. Bending your other knee, help your knee to bend. Great way to preserve our knees. And then begin to rub the inner arch of your foot, the spleen meridian. In Chinese medicine, the stomach and the spleen are paired organs for the earth element, along with our lymphatic system, the tone of our muscles. And earth is the season of late summer, but it's also a period of transition from one season to the next, from one thought to the next. It's the transition between your in-breath and your out-breath. Finding maybe that acupressure point below the ball of your foot, kind of low here. When I push on it, my big toe moves a little bit as well. I'm pressing here, just poking around, seeing where you can find maybe a little bit of tenderness, which would be where there could be some stagnation. And as you push on it, it's like you're freeing up that river of energy, that channel of energy, encouraging good digestion, encouraging a sense of calm, clarity, comfort, support. And then let that go. Lift your spine and twist in the direction of your bent knee. Lifting, press through your leg, lift yourself up and twist over your shoulder. And coming back to center. Go ahead and lift this knee, bend your other knee, make your way into tabletop. Having a blanket under your knees makes tabletop much more enjoyable. It certainly does for me, and I highly encourage it. I'm going to place blocks underneath of my hands. Not everybody cares for that, but I really like it. It helps me feel more open and creates more space through my body. And coming into tabletop, pressing your hands into the earth, spreading your fingers nicely. And find some cows and cats. Open up the front of your body and round forward. And maybe as you move, You can curl your toes under and sink your hips back as you round. And then maybe even pull forward a little bit more, like your chest is going to come through your shoulders. Move with your breath. A back bend on your inhale and rounding forward on your exhale, maybe stretching the bottoms of your feet. Coming back to a tabletop, bring your knees together. Extend your right leg behind you. Press through your heel. Get that really delightful stretch through the back of your leg. Breathe into the stretch. Press through both hands, really engaging, protecting your wrists through the engagement of your fingers. Lengthen your spine. And now bring your knee back down and then shuffle your right foot between your hands. I like blocks. I'm going to put my blocks on the highest setting. That helps me achieve this low lunge a little better. Curl your back toes under and lift your back knee. You can kind of adjust where your back leg is going to go from there. Maybe it comes up a little closer or further away. Lower your back knee. And if your back knee is more underneath of your hip, that's going to give you less sensation, which could feel better. Or if it's further away, it's going to give you greater sensation in that hip flexor of your left leg. So decide what feels good to you. Open up your chest in a low lunge, maybe even like a little bit of a back bend. And then round forward, straighten your front leg. And move with your breath. Inhaling as you pull forward, opening up. And exhaling as you round over your front leg. Pull your front hip back towards your back hips, kind of envisioning them being in a line together. Of course, stretching our legs, we find the stretching and the strengthening of our legs to affect our spine. It affects how we move through the world. And that sense of comfort, that sense of ease. Seeing if you can find that through your movement. Maybe doing less is more. Maybe a little more cushion under your knee feels better. Now, the next time you pull forward, you're going to keep your knee on the ground. Bring your left hand to your block or to the ground and bring your right hand to your upper leg and find an find a twist towards your leg. So it's actually a closed twist. I might bring my block down a little bit more to find that twist. Bring your hand down, bring your knee back down to the ground. Come into a child's pose. Let your knees come away from each other, big toes together to touch, and sink your hips down. Extend your arms. Let your forehead rest on the ground and just rock your forehead from side to side, the calm, the spirit point. Relax your jaw, find a smile. And take a deep breath and let it go. Making your way back to tabletop, we'll do the other side. Bring your knees together. Left leg extends behind you. See if you can
re-engage your hands, your fingers. Press through, especially the space between your first finger and your thumb, so that you feel nice and stable through your wrists. Breathe. Bring your left knee down and then shuffle your left foot up between your hands. Decide where you would like your back knee to go. It might stay right where it is. You might curl your toes under, lift your knee and scooch it back a little further for more sensation in your right hip flexor. And then open up your chest, let your shoulder blades relax down. And start to move with your breath, folding over your front leg, pulling your front hip back towards your back hip as you round forward. And then open your chest as you find that lunge shape. Working with all of these connections. The connective tissue running through your body, intertwining muscles and bones, your circulatory system, making its way into all of your organs as well. It's like little highways of energy, this fascia, this connective tissue, and that's what the meridian theory is based off of. And I find it to be correct in my experience. That's just my experience. I just notice the more I breathe and move with the intention of encouraging the flow of energy, sometimes the more balanced I feel, the more functional I feel and clear. The next time you pull forward into a lunge, bring your right hand down to the ground or a block. Let your left hand come to your upper leg and lengthen and twist towards your leg. And coming back to your hands, and then you're going to step yourself up to a forward fold. So you can curl your back toes under, you can scooch one foot forward, one foot back. Your feet can be wide. Maybe your hands rest on blocks or rest on a table or a chair even, letting your upper body release forward. I'm going to scooch my blanket off of my mat so that I don't trip on it. Let your head and neck relax. And sway a little side to side, pressing through each foot. And with your knees bent, begin to slowly roll up to standing. Take your time. Let your wrists move a little bit. Let your chin stay tucked until you make it to the top. Shoulders up to your ears. And they roll back. Here you are, standing. Take a deep breath and let it go. There's a lot of lower body focus, and so now your lower body is nice and engaged, and go ahead and just kind of bounce a little bit with your feet anchored in the earth, just letting your knees and your hips, your shoulders kind of relax as you sink into the earth. It's like being on a rebounder, except without the jarring experience in your pelvic floor. I'm not jumping up and down. That would be bad. You just laugh and you let yourself kind of sway a little. And
And so it's less jarring and more of like a joyful bounce supported by the earth. When we feel that sense of support and presence, sometimes things start to flow a little more freely. It's that earth supporting the river. We have to have the earth supporting the river of thought. You have to have that nice strong support, and in order for your river to flow in the right direction. Coming back to center, pause and notice how you feel. Finding a Qigong stance. Let your feet be about shoulder width distance. Your knees bend softly, your hip flexors bend softly, and find that length through your spine, that natural S curve of your spine. Take a deep breath and let it go. Bring your hands to your dantian, the lower dantian. And by this time, we've talked about all three dantians. The lower one being more of a center of gravity, a place where we can kind of consolidate scattered energy, mix it around, redistribute it where it needs to go. Finding a smile, and as you breathe, let your belly expand like a balloon with an inhale, and as you exhale, let your abdomen draw towards your spine. Maybe your pelvic floor lifts ever so slightly. Inhaling, relaxing your abdomen, relaxing your pelvic floor. And exhaling, drawing your abdomen in and your pelvic floor. And find a smile. And then let that go. Bring your hands down. Let your palms face down. We're gonna smooth things out, working with balance, lifting one foot and then placing it back down on the ground, shifting, lifting and lowering. I've spoken with many people over the years, and when I think about movement in general, I've spoken with a lot of people who are older, in their 80s and 90s. And one thing that I find is that a lot of people, as they age, they tend to speed a little bit more through life without thinking about where they're going. And their body sort of shows that. They become a bit more kind of leaning forward. You'll see that in people. You'll see them leaning forward. And I've seen a lot of people be unstable. They lose stability in that lower body because they're so up here in their heads and directed towards future thinking and what they need to do next, that's how their body moves. And they're kind of like a torpedo. And the next thing you know, they trip on a step, or the sidewalk kind of gives, and they fall, and that can be a very challenging experience. And so what we're doing right now is kind of working to shift that habit and that pattern of kind of being so much in our heads that we're just like a torpedo kind of streaming through your house and through your day, coming into the present moment so that you can have that more upright posture, feel dense and balanced through your lower body. It's very helpful. So I want to do a few more of the balancing exercises because they do encourage posture, and they encourage that sense of awareness of being supported by your lower body. So coming to center, and let one hand press out to the side, the other comes to the midline of your body. let your shoulder relax. We also tend to want to overdo it. We want to lift as high as possible or extend real far. And I want you to keep your spine straight. Feel the balance across each foot. Shift your weight to one side and touch out with your toe. Bring your foot back, come back to center nice and slow. Notice when you're balanced across each side, shift your weight to the other side and touch out with your toe. Again, just nice and slow. See if you can slow down. Something else that happens when we slow down is economy of effort. Things start to flow. Strengthening the banks of your river allows the water to flow more smoothly in the direction it needs to go. And so that's what you're doing. You're sort of strengthening the banks of your river of consciousness. Working with economy of effort. There's no need to overstretch. That just exhausts us. Relaxing into your sense of balance. Do this one more time on each side, just feeling like you've gotten each side an equal amount of times. Come back to center and find a tall spine. Lengthen your spine. Let your weight balance across your feet. Press your hands slightly behind you, opening your chest. Shift your weight to one leg. Heel comes out in front. Arms come out in front and toe comes behind. And heel. And toe. And this is challenging. And heel. And toe. And heel. Toe. Coming back to center. Find balance across each leg. Take a deep breath and let it go. And shifting to the other side, press your hands behind. Heel. Arms come out, toe behind. And heel. And toe. And heel. Toe. Come back to center and let your hands come to your dantian. Let your shoulders stack over your hips. Posture is practice. Being in the present moment is practice. Life is exciting. There's so much to do. Come back. Take a deep breath and let it go. We're going to stretch our ankles. Shift your weight to one leg. Really engage that leg. That helps to protect your hip, your knee, your ankle. And then heel and toe. Stretching your foot, heel and toe. Bring that foot down. Come back to center. Over to the other side. Engage. Heel and toe. And then come back to center. So now we're very aware and very rooted through both legs. From here, we're going to move the arms. I want you to let your palms face your body and then reach them up. So it's like you're shining light on your face and then on the top of your head. Interlace your fingers, turn your palms to face up and press towards the ceiling. Reach, allow your feet to sink into the earth as you're lifted, and then lower your arms down. We're going to do this with our breath. Maybe inhaling as your arms come up, exhaling as your fingers come together. Inhale as you press, and exhale as you lower. And work with this. See if the breath works for you. Reaching up with an inhale, exhaling, fingers entwine. Inhale as you press, exhale as you lower. We'll do that about 2 more times. And once you've completed those movements, let your shoulders roll up to your ears and back down. I'm going to find a couple of acupressure points in our upper body and head next. I want you to take your hands and bring them to your shoulders. This point where your hands land, or someone would give you a nice little shoulder squeeze, is called heavenly rejuvenation. Isn't that the nicest name? So just give yourself a little pokes here, little presses. You can squeeze just like having someone lovingly come up behind you and give you a nice squeeze on the shoulders. Heavenly rejuvenation. This is actually a triple warmer point. So the fire element encourages release of anxiety, which is something that we all need. Anxiety and excitement affect the body very similarly. So even when we're excited, sometimes we just need a little calming down. And the next point we're going to do is the gates of consciousness. Take your thumbs and bring them on the back of your neck up to these protrusions. This is a gallbladder meridian. These protrusions and the gates of consciousness, and you just give them a little rub. Letting your fingers, hands rest on your scalp. That can feel nice, and just massaging. And with acupressure, I find that we're all different. It's nice to just kind of poke around, see what you notice. Again, it's all about releasing. These are some points for releasing anxiety and of helping us to calm ourselves. And then take a nice deep breath and sigh it out. Let your arms come down, shake them out. I'd like to tap the chest a little bit. Just kind of tapping your chest wherever your fingertips want to go. Sometimes I like to use loose fingers, and sometimes it feels nice to have your dragon's beaks, to bring your little fingers together like little puppet show hands, and poke around with your dragon's beak. This is great this time of year when you think of allergies, colds, respiratory issues. This can be a nice way to help to stimulate the lungs, encouraging their functionality. That's all we want to do through our practice, is encourage functionality. Find a smile. Smiling encourages your functionality. Life can feel very complex, and our practice allows us to sink into your body, to be present, to allow all of the layers and flavors of life to present themselves, to unfold. Now let your arms come down. I like to swing the arms a little. Careful not to hit anything. As your arms swing, let your fingertips come together to touch. This is a great way to balance the right and left sides of your body, right and left hemispheres of your brain. The earth element is, to me, also sort of like the corpus callosum, that a connector between your right and left hemispheres of your brain. Feeling nice and supported through your lower body, able to move through the world with a greater sense of ease and economy of effort. Let your arms go down, shake things out, and find a Qigong stance. Just notice how you feel. Notice your breath. Notice your connection with the earth. We're going to make our way down to the ground, either to lie down with your feet on the ground and your knees bent, or to find a seat on the ground or a seat in the chair. I'm just going to do a little gentle stretching to conclude our practice before final relaxation. So if you're coming to lie down, have some support under the back of your head. Rock your body around. And if you're finding a seat, again, just sort of rock your hips, rock your body a little bit as well. Finding connection with the earth. Taking a couple deep breaths. On the ground, if it feels good to you, you can cross your right ankle over your left knee. And the same thing can happen if you're seated in a chair. You could find, I can't tell if you're seated in a chair or not, but, oh, you're on the ground. Okay, that's fine. You can actually do the same thing. You can cross, if you can. You can have a little height underneath of your hips and then cross your right ankle over your left knee, or bring your foot in towards your inner leg, and then maybe fold forward a little bit. Whereas on the ground, turning this into a figure 4 stretch. Maybe bringing your left knee in, drawing it up and in to get that figure 4 stretch in your outer hip. So it can happen seated, coming forward. It can happen lying down, bringing your knee in. Either way, it can allow it to feel nice. If it doesn't change things, be willing to change. Be willing to take a moment to see how you feel and shift. And then we'll switch sides. Bring your foot to the ground and switch sides. And bringing that knee in if it feels good. Sometimes a figure 4 stretch just feels so nice. It's something that we should do probably on a more regular basis. If you're at home and you're in a transition period and it feels comfortable to lie on the ground, I find that lying on the ground, even with support under your head, it can help you feel less scattered. It supports your earth element. It helps you to support, to build the structure, to build the structure supporting your river of consciousness. And bring your feet both to the ground, and maybe let both knees fall to one side. Be there.
Your hands can come to your body. That can always feel very nice to just have the warmth and gentle pressure of your hands on your body. Letting your shoulders relax. Kind of even envisioning shining a beautiful healing light into your body to go to any places that it needs to go. Let your knees come to center and fall to the other side, and they can rest there. And again, your hands just sort of drift over to your low ribs. They can go wherever they need to go. Whenever I like to teach in every class, I like to teach being present as much as possible. And that comes through that being supported by the earth, feeling your breath, and also feeling your hands on your body. In my experience, those three things have been extremely helpful in calming myself and bringing myself back to the present moment. And now bringing your knees back to center. And this is a place where now you're coming into your final relaxation. You might wiggle your hips a little bit. You can keep your knees bent, your feet on the ground, and let your knees fall in towards each other. Yeah, you can make any other movements that'll help you feel comfortable. If you have a bolster, having some support under your knees, if your legs are extended, can be so rejuvenating. Highly recommend that. But if you don't have that handy, just bringing your knees to fall in towards each other can release strain from your low back, or maybe it feels quite comfortable for you to extend your arms and legs and let yourself lie flat. So you're going to be here, and this is the place where the mind really begins to wander. Our physical practice is like the wash cycle, and your resting is sort of like the rinse cycle, and you want to get all of the soap and all of the debris out. You want that nice full rinse cycle. And so thinking of it that way, letting yourself really relax, allowing your back body to be fully supported by the earth. Letting your eyes close, letting your awareness come to either the support beneath you or maybe to your breath, just noticing. Maybe it comes to your hands resting on your body if they are. Begin to deepen your breath. Make small movements with your fingers, with your toes, your wrists and ankles. Give yourself a stretch and maybe bring your knees into your chest and give them a squeeze, rocking from side to side. And, and then make your way onto your side. Be there for a moment. You can cross your arms at your chest and let your fingertips gently tap your shoulders. Slowly press yourself up to a seat and let your head be the last part of your body to lift. You might place a little height under your hips. Rock a little from side to side, from front to back. Feel anchored in the earth so that the crown of your head can extend towards the heavens. Bring a hand to your heart and a hand to your belly. And feel your breath and the warmth and gentle pressure of your hands and support beneath you. And smile into that support. Offer yourself kindness, compassion, peace, and love. And the light in me sees and honors that light in each of you. Namaste. Oh, and I thank you so much for your practice today. I'll hit my stop record button.